What's up YouTube, Ty from Team M Shop Fitness, and I am taking the stage tonight. I am doing a physique competition, natural, and I just got my tan on. I'm feeling really lean. Anyway, I wanted to show you guys a video of some of the cutting foods that I chose to implement to prepare for this competition. Enjoy. Alright guys, so I finished my workout. It was a good, fasted workout. Did a little posing exercises as well to prepare for the competition, and now it's time for my post-workout. This is the first real meal that's going to have a caloric value, so to say. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a simple carb source. I keep that simple carb source post-workout, not only bulking, but all the way through my cut, guys. I try not to skip that at all. So what I'm going to do for my simple carb source, a little bit of a controversy in recent years on YouTube, but I'm going to throw in some Pop-Tarts. And basically just getting a quick glycemic indexed carbohydrate post-workout. I normally go with my lemonade dextrose source, but it's kind of conflicting with my macro and sugar levels a little bit, the amount that I normally take. So I'll have some Pop-Tarts that also have a little bit more of a whole food source just to eat, basically. So I'm going to go with this. I had the opportunity to talk to MATT OGUS at the Arnold Expo, and I kind of gave him some crap about how I found his first video in regards to him eating the Pop-Tarts on tape when he had about 4 of them at once and had a protein shake with 150 grams of protein. And so I'll put a clip from that into the video here, so enjoy.
Zach, Alex, and Alex.
Christine. Nice to meet you.
I loved your video. My favorite one that you've ever done was right shortly after Ian McCarthy and Hodgson's controversy. You did that one where you're talking about brown rice. You're like, I forget the amount of grams. You're like 350 carbs of brown rice? Are you kidding me? I'm going to bed. I'm going to bed. That was so funny. That's how I found your channel. Is that I love the video. So was that the Hodgson? Yes, it was shortly after that big controversy. That's how I became a subscriber.
Back in 2011.
Yes, yes. Yeah.
That's how you know we're fans, man. You're stuck with me through all the way.
No, man, you know how to get it done. You know, you got the results to prove it, the shows you win and whatnot, so that's where I go to free. I mean, when I cut, I watch your vids like every time you upload. Say it again?
Yeah, if it's your macros.
We do the IF though.
Yeah.
Throw that in.
Intermittent
I don't know if you recommend that.
I'm intermittent fasting today. All I ate was a fucking...
Yeah, I believe it.
We're sitting behind this freaking...
Not carbon up on the monster.
I fasted for like 20 hours.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I've had my Pop-Tart and a half. Chocolate fudge Pop-Tarts. Tastiest part of the day, by the way. Now my blood glucose is high right now. So that glucose, with the help of insulin, is being shuttled into the muscle cell, okay? So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and chase my quick carb source with some whey protein isolate. Now, I get kind of sick of certain flavors of protein. So right here I have Cinnabon, which is pretty good, but again, when you're constantly having it day in, day out, it gets kind of old. Same thing with the vanilla. I got some of this Body Fortress isolate. You can get this stuff at Walmart if you look around. I'm going to mix those two together. So I'm going to have 1 scoop of each. Alright guys, so I'm going to have my first real full meal. And this is basically meal number 2, so to say, as far as calories are concerned. And I'm going to be having some carbs. I'm going to have 1 waffle. Right now I'm dropping my carbs down to approximately 30% carbs, which is kind of hard to do. I'm going to keep it anywhere between 30 and 35 for the rest of this week. And then I'm going to drop it down to 30 next week. Maximum, and then approximately 25 carb for the next week. So I'm going to go ahead and throw in some egg whites, and what these are going to do is it's primarily protein, a little bit of carb in there, but this is going to allow me to not have as much fat and cholesterol. So I'm going to have 2 eggs. Normally when I'm bulking I have around 3 to 4 eggs a day, but I'm going to do only 2, and that's going to drop those saturated fats down. I try to have more healthy fats when I'm cutting. I have obviously a caloric deficit, and so I'm trying to get those healthy fats in. It's good for your arteries. So what I'm going to do is crack those 2 open here in a little bit, and I'm going to mix in 3 egg whites into that meal. And then I'm also going to cook up some turkey bacon. Turkey bacon allows me to get some more protein and more fat into the diet, but it's also not really high in fat like standard bacon. I'm going to use sugar-free maple syrup. I have a little bit of this left, and what I do is I actually use this little shot glass here. It's approximately 1 serving. I'll have half of the shot glass, so I'll have half serving of this. It's only 15 calories, and it really flavors up that waffle. So I'll do that. As far as flavoring for the eggs, I use onion powder and I use garlic powder, and I don't do too crazy on these, but I kind of sprinkle them into the eggs. It gives them kind of a good taste, because eggs can get kind of old, and I'll probably scramble these up today. I'll normally throw in some like fat-free or low-fat cheese, but being I'm cutting the carbs now, I'm getting lower and lower and closer to that show date, I'm going to go ahead and skip on the cheese today. Okay guys, so everything's cooked up. Here's what it looks like. I actually mixed the 2 slices of turkey bacon in with the eggs and the seasoning, and it tastes really good. Here's my 1 waffle. I also have, in the microwave here, my half shot glass of the sugar-free maple syrup. I'll go ahead and put that over my waffle, and then I also pour some of it over the eggs, and it makes it taste really, really good. So pour that on there. And then to accompany this meal, what I'm also going to do, as you can see, is I'm going to blend up a bunch of greens here. So I have a half of a green apple in here. I have a half of a banana, 1 celery stick, 1 cup of spinach, and then about 1/4 or 1/4 of a cucumber. And then when I put that in there, take my water jug, because you should always be tracking your water every day, especially if you're cutting. You should be having about 1 gallon a day. That's what I normally do. And I'm going to pour some of that in there. And this is going to be a really good way to complement the meal with some really nutrient-packed ingredients. Alright, so along with the shake, obviously, that I just made, as well as the meal, I'm going to go ahead and also have my multivitamin. I'm going to have a vitamin C on the side, and I'm going to have fish oil to get some of those healthy omega-3 fatty acids into my diet. Alright, for this meal, we have approximately 20 carb, 31 protein, 16 fat, and then for the shake, approximately 29 carb, 3 protein, and a ½ gram of fat. I'm about to go outside and actually do some high-intensity interval training. It's been a pivotal part of my cutting cycle. I try to do cardio actually every day. With my body type, I'm usually doing about 1,000 caloric deficit a day, and then I do high-intensity interval training cardio either separately from my lifting session, or I'll do cardio before and after I start lifting. It's really helped out. So tonight I'm doing high intensity out in the garage. I'm going to go ahead and use my heavy bag, wrap my hands up, and do some boxing rounds. So I'm probably going to be doing about a minute on, and then I'll do like a minute to a minute and a half off. So I'll just do a minute of all out, hitting the bag, working the combos, and then a minute to a minute and a half of just running in place. So I'll just be doing this lightly. So you're going from that light phase cardio to high intensity cardio. You do 5 to 6 sets of that, and in my opinion, it helps me burn a lot of fat. So it also gets that endurance up, gets that cardiovascular workout in too, so it's good for your heart. So that's what I'm doing. Alright, so I just got done with that high intensity interval training session, did 11-minute workout total. That was 5 minutes all out hitting the bag with 5 minutes of running in place. And I'd go 1 minute on, 1 minute off, 1 minute on, 1 minute off with the running in place and the hitting the bags. And then I ended with the running in place to cool down. So for post-workout, I'm going to throw in another protein shake. The protein shakes, I got to do at least 2 in the final month of my cut, in my opinion, just for my own macros, to try to maintain the low carb thing. It can be kind of tough with the whole foods, but it can be done if you have time to cook and whatnot. You can make fish and other protein sources like chicken, which I'll be making later actually. But I'm going to have 2 scoops of this, and this is beef isolate. I realize that some people are not fans of beef isolate because the protein comes from gelatin. However, I do look at it like this. It's got good macros, and that's really what I'm going for, is that low carb thing. So I'm going to throw it into my shaker cup using my water. I'm getting kind of low. I've been staying hydrated, especially if you're doing high intensity cardio. You want to definitely get that water intake, keep it going, and stay refreshed, hydrated, and cooled down. So also going to have with this meal a 1.5 serving of winter mixed Planters nuts. This is some healthy fats, guys. 1 serving is 27 grams, so I'm going to get my food scale out and do a 1.5 serving. I'm going to measure it so that I stay consistent with my macros.
This combo has approximately 28 carb, 56 protein, and 19.5 in fat. Alright, second to last meal of the day. I am pumped for this one. This one is something I've been making a lot in my cut, and it seems to never lose taste for me. I just love the way this tastes. I'm making chicken Alfredo pasta. So I went to the grocery store here, picked up 15 ounces of boneless, skinless chicken, and this is going to lose a little bit of its weight once I start cooking it. I estimate it'll probably be anywhere from 10 to 12 ounces. I will weigh that using this scale once it's cooked. I'll also use this scale to weigh out my spaghetti. Obviously, I'm trying to keep the carbs under 35% today, like I said. So I'll be doing one serving of this. It has 2 ounces per serving. I'll weigh it, and it's got 41 carb, 6 grams of dietary fiber, which is really good because we're going for at least 25 grams of fiber a day, and then 7 grams of protein. So I'm pumped to mix this up here with my chicken. And my favorite ingredient in this whole concoction is going to be our roasted garlic Alfredo sauce. This sauce has 70 calories per serving. I'm going to be having 2 servings of this. And it has 6 grams of fat per serving, 1 protein, and 3 grams of carbs. So this is really where we're getting kind of the fat of the meal. However, you got to add some taste to the chicken, and I still have some room for fat. And with fat also comes the healthy fat, and I'm going to be pouring in some extra virgin olive oil to add those healthy fats to this concoction. I'm going to do that after it's cooked. I'm going to mix it in with the Alfredo sauce to thicken that Alfredo sauce a little bit and give it a little bit more taste. I'm also going to be making some steam fresh green beans. These are going to add some more vegetables to the day. 30 calories for 2/3 of a cup. I'm going to be having approximately 2 cups of this, and it's got 5 grams of carbs, 2 grams of fiber, and 1 gram of protein per serving. Alright guys, so the noodles have been completely drained after they've been boiled. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add that 1/2 cup of our garlic Alfredo. Got it nice and measured out. So add it in there. And something else I'm going to put in there is this virgin olive oil, which also is measured out to a tablespoon, as you can see. Mix that right on top of that Alfredo sauce. And then I'll bust these out again. Garlic powder and onion powder. I'm just going to lightly season it as well to give it a little bit more taste. And then I'm going to throw these into the microwave. Okay, so I've weighed out the chicken, and it weighs out to about 11 ounces, and that was after I had cooked it and cut it up. So I'm going to mix it in with my pasta here. Unfortunately, the chicken kind of outweighs the pasta, but that's kind of the price you pay if you're cutting carbs. Again, this is just showing you my own personal meals. If you guys choose to emulate this, that's completely your choice. You can maybe add more pasta, add more sauce, bring the chicken down a little bit, but this is going to help facilitate my macronutrient requirements. And the best meal of the day tops out at 57 carb, 74 protein, and 31.5 grams of fat. Hope you guys benefited from this video. If you liked it, please give it a like. Go ahead and subscribe if you'd like. And I put the macros to the whole day right at the bottom. Thank you.